Okay, so now we want to take a look at a tuple that contains another tuple, and hence the name nested tuples. You need nested tuples when you are storing related information, okay? That is what we use tuples for, like you are creating a record like we did for the student. But you can see that for the informations that we store about a student, there can be subgroupings in even those information. For example, we can group your first name and last name to form a full name. And for the information about your course, we can decide to store the faculty that is teaching the course, the course code, and the course title, which can also be grouped. Okay, so let's see such an example. And we're going to use our famous friend Cyberpunk. Okay, so Cyberpunk, and look at what I'm doing here. It is a tuple within a tuple. Okay, so Cyberpunk has the name Edward, the last name Pi. Okay, and then I want to store the course information, the course that Cyberpunk is studying, but they also have some logical grouping amongst them, like I said, the faculty, the course code, and the course title. And so I can also group that. And mind you, you don't always have to declare your tuples on one line. You can actually break it down and in any way that you think makes it look nicer for you. So I mean, let me change this for you to see what I mean. So what I mean is you can do this and I can say Edward, and if I like I can also break this down into two, but I mean it's okay for one line. Okay, and then I want to store the course information. So the first thing is the faculty that is offering the course. Let's say this is faculty of physical sciences, so physical sciences. Okay, and the course title is, let's say, CS 202. Okay, and then the course code is CS 202, and the course title is numerical analysis. Okay, so let's confirm if this is indeed a tuple. So I'm going to print the type for the Cyberpunk record. Let's come down here and I'm going to run python 3 tuple nested.py, and you can see that indeed it is a tuple. So we can have a tuple that contains other tuple, and mind you, it doesn't always have to be a tuple of tuples like I'm doing. You can have a tuple of standalone items and other tuples in there. Okay, so let's see what happens when we index these tuples, or this tuple, sorry. So if I come here and I say cyberpunk 0, what do you think I'm going to get? Well, even before we run it, I'm going to tell you that we will get another tuple, which is this entire tuple over here. Because see, the items in this tuple are just two. If I print the length, of course, let's do that. So if I print the length of cyberpunk, it is a tuple that is made of two items. Let me comment out this guy and let's see what we get here. Sorry. Yeah, so it's a tuple of two items, and that might seem confusing to you if you didn't understand what we've learned about tuples up to this point. But remember that every item in a tuple is a standalone thing and is seen as one, even if it's another tuple. Okay, so cyberpunk is a tuple of tuples, and the first item is a tuple, the second item is a tuple. So we have just two items, each of which contains other items because of the sub-logical grouping that we did in the record that we created. And so if I get the index 0, I am going to see the first tuple. Let's run this program again, and you can see that indeed we get a first tuple. So what if I want just the last name? Well, the last name is at index 1 of the first tuple. So you bring another square bracket and then you specify that index. So it's like go into cyberpunk's 0th index, whatever is there, get the first index of that particular item there. So let's run this and you will see what we get. So you can see that we get pi. Okay, so if I wanted to print the course name, what do you think I have to do? well, I will advise you to pause this video and try it yourself, and then continue to play to see my solution for that. So I want the course title, right? So the course title is available in the second tuple, which I can access with index 1. So I specify 1 here. Now I want the course title. This is index 0, index 1, and index 2. So I'm going to specify index 2 over here. And then I will run this and see. And you can see that indeed I am able to access the course title, which is numerical analysis. So this is it about building nested tuples, and there is no limit to the nesting that you can do. Only make sure that your nesting matches the logical grouping that you see existing in the records that you are creating. So thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you in the next video where we start talking about another collection data type known as the list. So let's take a quick break, and I will see you soon.